Hi, sophomores. So I'm going to talk through the first skill for this cycle, which is pronoun antecedent agreement. So what you have to remember, first of all, is what a subject is. So the subject answers the question, who or what is doing the action, right? So who is doing or being, in the sentence. So what I would recommend, if you're having trouble figuring out what the subject is, find the verb first. Then ask yourself who or what is doing that verb. Once you have the subject and verb figured out, then you can talk about the antecedent. So the antecedent is the subject that the pronoun refers back to. So antecedent means before whatever comes after it, right? So it's what the pronoun refers back to. So then you have to ask yourself, does the pronoun match the antecedent? All right, so I have a sentence for you. This is from NoRedInk. Kanye West noticed that all the dancers wore their sunglasses on stage. So we have two clauses here. We have Kanye West noticed, and we have all the dancers wore their sunglasses on stage. We're going to focus on the second sentence for this practice. So all the dancers wore their sunglasses on stage. The first thing I ask myself is, what's the action? In this case, the action is wore. So the second thing I ask myself is who or what is doing that action? In this case, all the dancers are wearing, right? All of them, not just one, all of them. So that allows me to think about the pronoun. Here, the pronoun is their, which is plural. So all the dancers wore their sunglasses. That makes sense, right? All is plural, there is plural. If it said all the dancers wore her sunglasses, then I would know that that doesn't match. Here's a note. NoRedInk is a little bit behind the times. Nowadays, we use the word there for singular. A lot of people do that in order to not reference gender. So instead of saying her or his, you might say their, even if you're referring to one person. In my pedagogy book that I wrote, I use their, even though it would only be talking about one person, because that's kind of, the common thing to do now. But NoRedInk hasn't caught up to that yet, and a lot of times standard English hasn't caught up to that either. So even if you believe that it makes sense to say there instead of his or her, just kind of know that not everyone's there yet, and so we're going to use singular, his or her, and plural would be there. Okay. All right, so let's run through just a couple of these practice questions so you can see how it works. If many jugglers move into Lil Wayne's hometown, they can perform at the annual ball. Is there a pronoun agreement error? Okay, so in this case, the pronoun is they, and that refers back to the subject, which is many jugglers. So many jugglers is plural, the pronoun is plural, so there's no error. Kurt Vonnegut noticed that every politician got their information from TV. So the pronoun is their, which is plural. So I have to ask myself what would be the right antecedent. So every politician, or all the politicians. Every politician is singular because it's saying everyone, right? You can replace it with everyone, and one is singular. So everyone got their information. Doesn't work so well. All of the politicians got their information. All is plural, theirs plural, so that matches. Let's do one more together. Amma brought all the kings his own royal robe to wear at the ceremony. So in this case, our pronoun is right here, his. So we have to see if the subject matches. All the kings is plural, his is singular, so that doesn't match. Every king is singular, so think about it like everyone. If you can replace it with one, everyone is singular, his is singular, so that matches. All right, remember that if you get stuck, you should come see me. Like if you're clicking through them a bunch of times and you're not getting it right, you're getting really frustrated, that could happen, right? So I'm available in office hours Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, 2:30 to 3:30. Come see me. We'll talk through some of them together, and then it will go much more smoothly for you. Okay? Thanks for listening.